Hey, welcome into another episode of the Seahawkers Show with your host, yours truly, Todd Fox, as we wind up ending up this entire season. My last video was cut by YouTube, some copyright crap that took the video off, so if you guys are looking for that, didn't go through, but please like and subscribe. Please tell a friend. You guys have been helping out, leaving comments, tell me where I could get better, where I did wrong, where I'm good. So I really appreciate all the constructive criticism. So keep it coming, please. I just wanted to get to a quick note before we get into a video highlights, which I will have some that I cut into, so it shouldn't be a copyright issue this time. The season finale against Santa Clara, which I don't call them the team by the bay anymore, was in Arizona, obviously, and the Seahawks won ugly. And they're 12-4. So before I get into the video highlights, I just want to tell you, as a longtime Seahawks fan, and this is a Cortez Kennedy jersey, the throwback logo and whatnot on the side of the hat and whatnot. I love the Seahawks, and if you've come on in the last few years as a Seahawks fan, it's fine. Fans come and go, they find a new team. The team's been good for a while now. But for those that go pre-2000, 12 or even before that, when the Seahawks first got their success, at least recently, there was a long drought in between when they were good and when they weren't. They hadn't had real good success since 1983, which was only 7 years into their inception, which was 1976. So Seattle went a pretty good while of being either mediocre or sub-mediocre football. And when they wore these kind of jerseys and stuff, it's nostalgic now. We want them back as true Seahawk fans, at least to wear once a year or something like that. But the fact of the matter is that Seattle suffered a lot. And my point bringing this up is 12-4 to a lot of Seahawk fans I've seen online has been so ho-hum because they didn't get the number one seed. A 12-4 team to a fan like myself, I'm ecstatic. However, they got there, 12-4. Now, this game against Santa Clara was the epitome of how the Seahawks had played all year, and I'll get into that. But the fact that they were 12-4, I remember so many seasons watching this football team when they were 6-10. One year when they were 2-14. Seasons where we were lucky to see them go 9-7, where they went 7-9, or they frustrated you. Because I remember one year they were 8-2 to start the season, the first 10 games. They lost 7 of 8. They won their very last game to get to the playoffs at 9-7, only to get beat by Dan Marino in his last victory as a football player in the last very football game in the Kingdom. So it wasn't until Mike Holmgren took over and the Seahawks kind of took off, and he changed the culture of the team. The logos changed. They got into a Lumas field, which was Quest at the time. Everything started rolling. Now you know where they're at. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll have also changed the team for the better. But my point being is, as Seahawk fans, do not underestimate the fact that you're 12-4. I know it sucked not going to any of the games, but this is a team and a franchise that has come a long way and is now a consistent winner, and has become one of the envies of other football fans of other football teams, because the Seahawks were never this consistent. And the fact that they're a consistent winner year in and year out, consistent threat to get to the Super Bowl. And I don't care, like right now the media is not giving the Seahawks one shred of credit as far as being a Super Bowl hopeful. The only ones that they're talking about, like I watched this morning with ESPN, I saw Get Up, I saw Little Skip and Shannon, all those other kind of media outlets, and listening to Pro Football Talk, no one is talking about the Seahawks. Nobody. They're all talking about your New Orleans Saints. The hottest chick out there right now, if you were to compare a football team to a chick, is the Green Bay Packers, along with the Kansas City Chiefs. You got the Buffalo Bills, who are the hot chick out there too in the AFC. Then you got teams that are talking about the Baltimore Ravens being a surprise. Everyone's counting out Pittsburgh already. They're not really talking about Cleveland. They don't believe in Cleveland. And then more teams in the NFC. No one, Washington's supposed to be one and done. The sexy pick is still Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's Tom Brady. And so, he could pull some upsets because, and then the Rams are not, the only team they're not talking about more or less than the Seahawks is the Rams. The Rams are sort of like limping into the postseason. And whoever we see next week, I'll kind of preview that one as we go along. But for right now, we're going to talk about the Niner game, which, again, epitomized the 12-4 team that you see before you today. 12-4, winning a lot of close games, only truly having 2, maybe 3 kind of comfortable games. I'd say 2 at the most, the Jet game and forgetting the other one. Oh, well, the other Niner game that we played was pretty comfortable. Other than that, I mean, every game has been a nail biter, and this was no different, unfortunately. And I thought this game was going to be more of a wash. I thought it was, I predicted on the video that never showed it was going to be 27-17. It was a 26-13 final. So let's get into some highlights. I'll talk a little bit. I'll get some stats, and then I'll kind of just talk a little bit of my expectations for next week. Good news is, though, real quick, Jamal Adams, as we all watched in that third quarter, went out with an injury. He is supposedly, from 4 different reports that I've seen, including Greg Quinoda or whatever his name is for the Seahawks beat writer, said that he's almost 100% sure he's going to play next week. It looked to be a stinger. If it needed to be something else and more serious, he would have went in the stadium in the locker room to get an MRI. But he just went in the tent, and they kind of just, I think it was just precautionary, but he still looked pissed off because he's a gamer. He's a freaking gamer. So let's get into it real quick. As I drop my phone, sorry, because I had a couple things here. Seahawks and Niners from Arizona, and here's a picture of the game-winning touchdown right there. Lockett, that was a fingertip catch. That was a beautiful catch in the end zone. I'll show you that highlight in a minute. But here's some of the things that bothered me. This is in the we're gonna fast forward because the first half was boring as hell. Seattle left a lot out there. Offensively, they looked messed up. They made the Niners defense, which after you think of who they've lost defensively, I'm not counting Sherman because I believe he's overrated and over the hill. Some of you Seahawks fans might not like that take. Still warm to him, but I still feel he could have went to any other team, but he chose the Niners. The Patriots made a run at him too. Let's not forget that. He chose the Niners because he wanted backlash on the Seahawks. It didn't really work out. I mean, he would have got the last laugh had they won the Super Bowl, but they didn't. So I'm sorry. I just had to go that route. But anyway, in this game right here, you're going to see George Kittle get open in the end zone right here on a third down or second down call. If he hits him right here, it's 13-6, and the Seahawks are in trouble because they had lost all momentum by this time because the defense had been out there way too long. And the Niners put together a good drive here in the third quarter, and the Seahawks still weren't doing a damn thing on offense to respond. Here's the misfire right here by Beathard. If he goes right here, Kittle right here can do his little, with a touchdown. It would have been real easy because Shaquem Griffin, instead of guarding him, was over here. Diggs was on the fullback. I don't know who lost position between the two, but one of them was supposed to get Kittle, and Kittle was wide open, and he chose to go to the other receiver who was not open anyway. So he knows it right there. Third and goal right here. This was huge because it seemed like whenever Seattle needed a sack or a good big play on defense, they pretty much got it. It was third down right here. Here comes a good pass rush. This is what they needed. And this is what they're going to need in the playoffs. They're going to need that pass rush to continue to be really, really good. And the guys got in there and made a big play. That was Rasheem Green with a sack. So right here, it's 4th and 3. It's 9-6 at this point. Seattle still has not woken up from their coma. And in this third quarter, late in the third quarter, I was already starting to think that Seattle was just like playing this one out. But then I'm thinking to myself, they haven't taken out any starters. This is getting kind of embarrassing. They're making the Niners look way better without stars on that defense. And the Niner defense was, credit them, they were very, which I hate doing, they were very aggressive. Here's a 4th and 3 that should never have been converted. Defense looks good right here until he breaks contain. And then Amadi, instead of playing back, is fearing that Beathard's going to get past either Wagner or Wright right here, or that might be Jordan. It's Dunlap. Dunlap comes to pressure, and he finds a receiver. That was a critical first down on that drive. And I thought, oh, crap, here we go. Then the Niners made another play right here. This is just poor tackling. Or no, this is a good first down right here. I'm sorry. I was thinking of another play. Beathard hooks up right there, and then it's 1st and goal. Or 2nd and 5. Handoff right here, and the one running back makes the play, and all of a sudden it's 16-6, and I'm thinking, crap, the Niners are going to pull the victory. And we're going to hear all this smack talk because if you're online on any of these Seahawks pages, or there's quite a few Seahawks versus 49ers pages, and they go back and forth, the Niner fans look for any kind of moral victories. So they had a moral victory on their page. I read this morning that they were laughing at us, saying that, oh, you guys lost to a mediocre team. So all of a sudden now you're calling yourself a mediocre team, and all their starters are missing, and you guys barely beat us, and you guys are a joke. You're a fraud. It's like Niners look for any way to poke at you, and they look at any way to get a moral victory. So still, they lost, and still they got swept, and that's 12 out of 14 for Russell Wilson against the 49ers. So here's where championship teams are made. Although this wasn't a championship game, Pete Carroll always says it's a championship week. And this game right here, it's fourth quarter, 14 minutes left to go. Russell Wilson hits Chris Carson for a 10-yard gain, first down. Then right here, Russell Wilson back to pass. He's getting pressured, throws over here to Lockett, who had a huge game. I'll get into that afterwards. He gets hit with they get hit with a unnecessary roughness right there. I want to show you that again. They hit him. I mean, this is a borderline call, but I loved it. They hit him as he was giving himself up. So that's a 15-yard penalty. The very next play right here, here's Russell Wilson going back to work, handing off to Chris Carson. He has another nice run right here. Because, again, the running game was non-existent. But it seemed like when the fourth quarter came on, you know, they talk about certain NBA teams can just flip a switch and then you turn things on. Well, they flipped a switch in that fourth quarter, got the running game going right here. And then right here, and here's a nice little play action pass. Nothing downfield, checks down to Lockett, first down. That's another thing that frustrated me in this game. I know it's a division opponent, and sometimes you play down to your division opponent, or your division opponent, regardless of the record, plays higher to your standards. Seattle just, again, this is another week where it looks like Russell Wilson was too tentative to go downfield to take some shots. And then when he did, though, when he actually did take some shots, he overthrew Lockett. He overthrew Metcalf. It's like, dude, you're misfiring a lot. And he threw one to Swain, which wasn't even close. So he was misfiring a lot in this game. So that out of this game really got me bothered. The fact that he basically misfired on too many passes in this game, left a lot of yards out there. So here we go. But in crunch time, he was accurate. I'll give him that. So here we go right here. 1st and 10. Seattle on the 25. Fake pitch. The Niners completely bid on it. Nice move right there by Disley. He gets down inside the 5. Then here's a play right here. 3rd and goal, man. This is huge because they would have had to kick a field goal to only go up 7 or be down 7. Wilson biding time. He felt that pressure. Beautiful, accurate pass to Lockett. Beautiful catch. That was good coverage. So it's 16-12. And then right here on this play right here, the Seahawks defense. Again, when they need a big play in the last few weeks, the pass rush comes alive. When they need to be in crunch time. Now look at how close their defenders are playing right here. Obviously, on the last drive of the game when the Niners got that crunch time touchdown, there was no pass rush like this, and the defenders were 10 yards off the receiver. They didn't give a crap, which I didn't like that, but that's how they played. But here we go right here. 10 minutes left to go. They need a big stop, and they can't get it. But it's good coverage. It's good pass rush, right? Here come the Niners again. 16-12. Need a first down. Good coverage right there. Breaks it up by Reed. Here come the Seahawks with a freaking the offense. 7:46 left to go. Killer drive. Right to Metcalf. First down. Hand off to Carson. Carson gets another first down. First down at 10. Back to pass. Wilson. They're draining the clock. Look at this. Not there. I'm going to take the yards. Smart move. And he doesn't dive short of the first down. Picks up the first down. Here again. Pressure comes. Throws it out. Nice little pick there by Metcalf. Almost a first down. 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun. Wilson back to pass. It's not there. It's not there. Come up. Fake. Go inside. Out. And he picks up an extra 5 to 6 yards. First down. Coverage coming up the middle on the blitz. Handoff. Carson right there. Through the hole. Nearly breaks it. Gets down to the 11. 4th and goal right here. Play of the game, obviously. The one I pictured. And this is in the same end zone where they threw the pick in the Super Bowl. So this kind of hurt. And I was kind of feeling that I didn't want them to stall right here. But credit right here. Wilson goes back just far enough. Buys enough time. Air floats a perfect pass to only where Lockett can catch it. That's the game winner right there. Then the Seahawks with a championship D. Again, playing close coverage again. Rushing only 4, but look at how fast the 4 get in there because they're determined. They want to end the game. Look what happens. Boom. Strip sack, fumble. Seahawks get the ball back. Let's close this freaking game out. They give it to Alex Collins right here, who ran hard. Who looked like a mini Marshawn Lynch almost a little bit. Look at that. Whoop. Nice little hurdle. Touchdown. There you have it. That's the game winner. Seattle wins 26-23. The Niners come down too easy on a garbage-like type defense. Terrible prevent. Because, I mean, you'd want the Niners to take more time to get a touchdown. But, no, that was terrible defense. So they allow the touchdown. 26-23 is the final. Let's get into the stats real quick to close out this season. I want you to, if you guys watch and hold on, tell me what you thought of the season so far, 12-4. Russell Wilson went 20 of 36, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Chris Carson had only 11 carries for 44 yards. Russell Wilson had 5 for 29. Collins had 5 for 29. Penny, who started the game, had 6 for 19. Lockett had 12 catches for 90 yards. He now sets the Seahawks record for most receptions in a season with over 100. And then DK Metcalf with his 3 for 21 only needed 6. I mean, it was a pedestrian day. He did not have a good game. 3 for 21. That now sets the Seahawks all-time record in yards, breaking Steve Largent's. So he's got one of the greats of the Seahawks records to now to himself. So my takes on this season have been this. It's been a tale of two seasons. First half being Russell Wilson, let him cook, let him do the things he's got to do. Let's blow out our opponents offensively, defensively. Who gives a damn? There was no pass rush. There was no the coverage was getting exposed, and they were getting killed. Guys like Dunbar looked like trash, playing 10 to 15 yards off the ball. Trey Flowers, the same thing. Shaquem Griffin was injured most of the first part of the season. There was a stretch where our boy Adams missed about 4 to 6 games. So there was just a bunch of just transition on defense. We didn't have Dunlap. The defensive line with Dunlap has looked completely different. Poona Ford's been getting in there. The second half of the season, the offense got a little more conservative. The run came more into focus. Sometimes they start good, sometimes they don't. Defensively has been, Ken Norton changed the scheme. They're playing tighter coverage a bit. The corners are back and healthy. Jamal Adams and Dunlap have been the X factors. Vasheen Green has been playing better. You've gotten just Jared Reed, who's playing a lot better. They've just stepped up their game, and they look a lot better. They got Greg Olsen back. Offensively, though, the last few weeks it's been a struggle. They didn't really do all that great against the Rams, but think about it. The Rams have the number 1 ranked defense. So as we move into a 12-4 season to where normally this team would have been fighting for the second bye, with the added playoff game, now we have to play a wild card game regardless. So do the Saints. The Packers get the freaking bye. So now we play the Rams, and we played them 2 weeks ago. We played them with Jared Goff. I don't know if Goff is going to start. We're going to see more as the game gets closer, which I'll make a preview episode either Thursday or Friday, hopefully. And we'll see where we're at as far as the games considered. Now that backup quarterback did get a lot of love in the league from Sunday because he did scramble more than what Goff does. Goff likes to just take the hit or go out of bounds or not take a hit. He's scared to take a hit. So he's a different quarterback, this backup guy. But again, that's the Cardinals defense, which isn't that good. And, the Cardinals only put up 7 points in that game. Obviously, Kyler Murray was out. So I don't take too much stock in that game. But this game, you can't take too much stock out of this one. The Niners are banged up, and they had Beathard, their third, fourth-string quarterback in there. And, we only beat them by 3. We had to come back. So this is going to be a tough game. Can Seattle secure this victory at home? I think they should. I'll get more into it. But I think the Seahawks are in good shape to beat the Rams. I would have preferred to see the Bears or the Buccaneers. I think as good as the Buccaneers are supposedly are, their defense is susceptible to getting beat, and I think Tom Brady can be beat as well. The offensive line is not that great for Tampa. He's been hit a bunch. Although he's had a good year, that's who we would, I'm assuming Tampa Bay will beat Washington, and I'm assuming Seattle will beat the Rams. That's our next opponent. So it will be Tampa. And I think it will be in Seattle for the second round. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be it's going to be a difficult game, but it'll be a good one to watch. The Rams game's going to be close. I can't tell you. I wish I could tell you Seattle's going to win by 20, but it's going to be close, and it's going to be another nail-biter. Division games just are. McVay, the supposed genius, is going to keep it close. So it's going to be a struggle. So I'm hoping Seattle can get it done, but we'll see. But just take solace in this, Seahawks fans, is we're 12-4, and obviously we did the first goal of Pete Carroll every season. Not only is to say every game is a championship game, but to say we got to win our division. And Seattle hadn't done that the last 3 years, and they got punked out of the playoffs. This year's different playoff format doesn't put, that great an onus on it because there was only, it does anyway. You got to win, and you got to win big. You got to win all your games. But my point being, Winning division gets you home games, and this will get you at least guaranteed 2 home games, especially if you win the wild card game. So if they win that wild card game the second round, they'll be home again before they have to think about whether they're going to New Orleans, whether they're going to Green Bay. So this is huge. Seattle securing that home at least for 2 games. But they got to win that first game. And it's going to be a quick turnaround, like I said, 1:40 start on the Pacific Coast. I'll get into the preview on that. Like I said, like and subscribe. And one other cool thing before I get out of here, as you guys know, David Moore, if you guys were wondering why they handed the ball off to him when they recovered the onside kick and there was only like maybe 30 seconds left to go, Seattle gave a quick pass to him, like one of those handoff passes. And you would think, and even the commentators were like, well, why is he not, the Seahawks not kneeling on the ball to end the game? They ran that play and then kneeled the ball right away because David Moore was given, he needed one more catch to get $100,000 incentive on his contract. So if he had 35 catches for the season, he would get an added bonus of $100,000. So he got the catch. It kind of pissed off the Niners because they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know why the Seahawks were running a play. But credit Coach Carroll, credit the GM, Schneider, and the rest of the staff for acknowledging that and for being a player's coach and deciding, hey, man, this guy doesn't get paid like your Russell Wilsons, like your Tyler Lockett's, like your DK Metcalf will be, and others on this team. And $100,000 is huge to him and for his family. And we're going to do him a solid when we really don't have to. We could save the team $100,000, but they did him a solid and got him $100,000. So kudos to the Seahawks organization, coaching staff, and others who were behind that. And congratulations, David Moore, for getting $100,000 more, because even though you made 35 catches and to a lot of other guys in the league or fans would say, oh, 35 is not big number of catches, he had a hell of a year. He ran a lot of screens. He caught a lot of deep balls. He made an important catch against the Rams. A lot of things that he's done this year. David Moore has been good in the return game. Like I said, those sweeps. So, you know what? Kudos to him. He deserved it. He put in one of those unsung type hero type years, especially with Josh Gordon seemingly not going to play for us at all this year. He took that position, the number 3 legit receiver, and I think he did a great job. So he deserved to get paid. So with all that being said, this has been another episode of the Seahawkers Show. Please like and subscribe. Once again, go Hawks, and I will have that preview episode for you up on Thursday.